Hello and welcome to Awaz News. I'm Kubra Ali and I'll be taking you through big news across Canada.
Despite inflation slowing in December, Bank of Canada still expected to hike rates. Blue Jays unveil Rogers Centre renovation progress, announce 4 new outfield neighborhoods. Food inflation remains stubbornly high despite efforts to quell inflation. Norfolk County crash sends 5 people to hospital, including 4-year-old with life-threatening injuries. Warren Smokey Thomas lawyers respond to OPSEU lawsuit, which they say is bogus. Ontario's expansion of private clinic procedures will affect hospital nurse bargaining union. Man 70 charged in murder of Bulletin woman.
These were the headlines and let's jump right into the details.
The lawyers for Warren Thomas, the former president of the Ontario Public Service Employees Union, are rejecting a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against him and 2 others, which they say is riddled with errors, falsehoods, and untrue allegations. In a statement of claim released Monday, OPSEU's suit names Thomas, as well as former first vice president and treasurer Eduardo Almeida and former Financial Services Administrator Maurice Gabe for alleged financial improprieties. OPSEU, one of the largest public sector unions in Ontario with some 180,000 members across the province, is seeking nearly $6 million it alleges was unlawfully transferred to the 3 former executives. The lawsuit follows a forensic audit launched by the union last April after Thomas and Almeida left their positions. OPSEU alleges in the suit that it discovered Thomas and Almeida paid themselves significant compensation they weren't entitled to. Moreover, Thomas and Almeida allegedly used union money for non-business purposes, transferred union vehicles to themselves or family members, and paid out strike fund cash to themselves and Gabe. Union money was also used to pay for home repairs and moving expenses for someone with whom Gabe had a personal relationship, the OPSEU's statement of claim alleges. Thomas, who served a record 7 2-year term as president, responded to the allegations through his lawyers in a statement issued Tuesday. 5 people in hospital, including a 4-year-old child in critical condition after a single vehicle crash in Norfolk County on Tuesday morning. Emergency crews were called to First Concession Road STR shortly after 9 a.m. for a crash. Ontario Provincial Police Constable Ed Sanchuk said a vehicle carrying 2 adults and 3 children, when, for unknown reasons, it left the roadway, entered a ditch and struck a tree. Sanchuk said a 4-year-old child was transported to hospital with life-threatening injuries. The other 4 occupants, including 2 infants, were also taken to hospital for precautionary measures, he said. The cause of crash is unknown. Roads in the area are expected to remain closed for several hours for the investigation. Though sky-high inflation started to cool as 2022 wound down, food prices continue to rise faster than overall inflation, affecting consumers' wallets on a daily basis as interest rates rise. In December, food prices were up 11% on an annual basis, compared with 6.3% overall, though food inflation softened slightly on a monthly basis. In fact, prices for every single food item tracked by Statistics Canada went up in 2022, with one exception, canned salmon, which went down in price. That's despite the Bank of Canada's desperate race to raise interest rates in 2022 in an attempt to rein in inflation. The overnight rate went from 0.25% at the beginning of the year to 4.25% in December, and the central bank is wisely expected to announce another increase next week. Gas prices have cooled from their lows. The housing market is sagging under the weight of interest rates spiking, and yet food inflation remains stubbornly high, staring consumers in the face every time they go to the grocery store. Ontario hospitals' nurses are set to soon start bargaining their new contract, and the province's intention to expand procedures at private clinics means hospitals will have to come to the table prepared to entice professionals to stay their union, said Tuesday. Premier Doug Ford announced Monday that the province will fund more procedures such as cataract surgeries, MRI, and CT scans and hip and knee surgeries in the community in order to reduce waitlists and ease the pressures on hospitals. Amid concerns raised by critics is a worry that hospitals will see further staffing crunches if workers such as nurses choose to work at clinics offering weekday 9 to 5 shifts instead of the overnight and weekend work that happens in hospitals. Bernie Robinson, the interim president of the Ontario Nurses Association, said, along with the higher overall wage increases, nurses need to see better pay for those off hours to entice nurses to do it. This round of talks, scheduled to start January 30th, was already going to be significant as for the past 3 years, the nurses and others in the broader public sector, such as teachers, have been subject to wage restraint legislation known as Bill 124. Nurses and other workers strongly oppose the maximum raises of 1% a year under the bill, and court recently struck it down as unconstitutional, though the government is appealing. There is no such legislated cap of these talks, and nurses are looking to catch up. Teachers are also currently bargaining with the government for their first post-Bill 124 contracts. Education workers, represented by the Canadian Union of Public Employees, late last year negotiated a $1 per hour raise each year, or about 3.59% annually for the average worker. Hospital nurses currently earn $34.24 an hour as a starting salary per their last contract and are subject to grid that goes up to 25 years when they can earn $49.02 an hour. Robinson is not divulging the specific proposals of ONA will make at the bargaining table, but said she will also be pushing for improved policies on vacation, workloads, and work-life balance, as they will also help with the staff recruitment and retention. Anthony Dale, president and CEO of the OHA, said he looks forward to the negotiations. Bulletin police have charged a 70-year-old man in connection with murder of female victim at a home in Burlington last week. Police were called to an apartment at 695 Regency Court at around 11:30 a.m. on January 13th for a report of an unconscious woman. Officers found a woman dead inside her home and took a 70-year-old man into custody in connection with the incident. Police said at the time that the incident was isolated to the apartment and that there was no threat to the public safety. Investigators said Tuesday that the man who was taken into custody has now been charged with first-degree murder. Police did not name the suspect or describe the relationship between the two. They said previously that they would not be releasing the name of the victim at the request of the family. The Toronto Blue Jays are giving fans a peek inside the Rogers Centre, which is in the midst of its biggest ever renovation. The team has also unveiled 4 brand new outfield neighborhoods that will be ready for fans to enjoy when the Jays suit up for their home opener on April 11th. The 4 new outfield sections will offer differentiated experiences to fit the unique interests of Blue Jays fans, the team says. The Corona rooftop patio opening in the right field at the 500 level will be a rooftop patio oasis nestled in Toronto's iconic skyline. The menu will feature the full Corona family of products, plus frozen cocktails and modern takes on ballpark classics. The park's social opening in Lutz Field at the 500 level will be a park within the park for fans of all ages, featuring games and comfortable places to hang out. The neighborhood will be a casual open-air space where the best of Toronto's parks are brought into the ballpark, according to the team. The park's social menu will feature food truck-style eats such as bacon pepper grilled cheese, brownies, sundaes, and milkshakes. In addition to these new rooftop spaces, every 500-level seat is being replaced for the first time since the stadium opened in 1989. Footage provided by the team showed the building's gutted interior. Workers can be seen spreading concrete across large platforms and positioning steel beams hoisted by cranes to the upper levels. The stop center field behind the batter's eye is described as your neighborhood bar to grab a drink with friends before first pitch. Lastly, the catch bar will be situated above the visitors' bullpen, providing fans with unprecedented views, the place to be seen and catch a home run. In addition to these 4 neighborhood spaces, the Blue Jays are introducing renovated and new group spaces that will offer fans new event options for their next ballpark outing. Spaces will be available to all ticketed fans when not reserved for a group. These projects are all set to be completed prior to the 2023 season. However, the $300 million renovation project will continue over the next few off seasons, with full completion of project expected by 2025.
Thank you for tuning in. I'm Kubra Ali. I'll see you back tomorrow, same time, same channel. Have a good night.